So when it comes to dating, first, take time for yourself to be happy with yourself. And secondly, write down, what does my ideal relationship look like? And who do I want to be? And what does my partner look like? Not only physically, but also how does that partner act?
His energy? How does he move? How does he talk?
How does that person treat the world and move around in the world? And what are we going to do together? Welcome to Umaversity Talks. I'm Jo Sarah.
And I'm Bowi.
And here we dive into the real shit that women go through that they never dare to teach you in school. So no filters and no sugarcoating.
Just two women having the raw, honest, and brutally funny conversations we all need.
Let's go. All right, so there's a lot happened since we last spoke. I'm wearing a shiny little...
She's engaged.
I'm engaged!
She's fucking engaged.
It was so romantic.
Oh my God, it was amazing. Well, it was very romantic for you. I was breaking my back on the canals with 40 balloons. But it was very romantic.
Yeah, it was a romantic day and a beautiful day. So on my birthday, my partner and now fiance, he proposed to me on the bridge where we first said, I love you, in front of my family. And it was a day full of surprises that he, together with Bowi, organized. And I'm so grateful for them because it was the best 35th birthday of my life. Actually, that's the only birthday, but it's the best. It was the best birthday.
It was the last best birthday.
Oh, it's not the last birthday.
The last 35 best birthday.
Okay, there we go. That's better. Let's not manifest things that we don't want to manifest. No, but anyway, so there was a whole day full of surprises and just surprises after surprise. And Bowi and my partner JB also organized a huge party for me where all my friends and family were there with videos of people. And I even got a MacBook for my birthday from all people because they were like, Jo is such a creator. She needs to have the newest technology. It was really amazing. And then also you organized a beautiful cake.
Oh my God.
And I was, of course, showing my ring to everybody. And the proposal was just, he did so much work. And he scoured the inters of net and in different countries actually for the right diamond ring.
I was there with the whole process. It was amazing to be part of this journey and to be part of this process because you literally, first of all, you deserve the world.
Thank you.
And I think your partner as well. Shout out to her partner. He's amazing. But it was so funny to do as well. I remember this one moment I was breaking my back with like this fucking expensive beautiful cake that I like designed with all different things, and it had to be zebra and there has to be butterflies and it had to be like feathers and glitters and like all the shebang has to be on there. So I was like with this extremely expensive cake with 40 balloons in a van with no mirrors, nothing, breaking my back on the canals. And at that moment, I received a message from your partner. She said yes. And I was like, she better fucking said yes. Like, what's happening here? What am I doing even here if she wouldn't say yes? I think that was
so funny. He laughed so hard about that.
I literally sent a message like, she better fucking said yes. I'm breaking my back here for you too.
Yeah, and he's also an amazing person. Like, he's so sweet, and you are sweet too. Like, I felt so loved, and I think I would wish that on anybody on their birthday, to feel so loved.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you could feel everybody was there and it was amazing. And again, you deserved all of it. It was very romantic and I can't wait for my Prince Charming.
Yeah.
I'll immediately send your number to him.
Yeah, like, so she's going to organize everything.
She's going to organize everything.
I mean, it's been so cool, like dreaming and planning the wedding and to do it together with my partner. And we're going to have a very unusual wedding.
It's going to be a sexy ass wedding.
It's going to be a sexy ass wedding for sure. And it's going to be out of the box and original because we want to get married in front of a waterfall.
Of course.
In the jungle.
Again, breaking my fucking back to make this happen.
Yeah, because you're going to have to go all the way to Costa Rica probably.
Oh, such a shame.
I know, it's punishment. No, but I'm really excited. And I'm so excited to become a wife.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so funny because looking at the female spectrum of life, we have an age gap of 10 years.
Yeah.
And you're in such a different state than I am in life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so intriguing to have like these very nice, interesting conversations where like, I'm just not there and I don't have to be there yet. But also it's like very nice to have older friends in your life or for different generations that set examples for things that you're like, oh, that resonates with me, or oh, that doesn't resonate with me.
Or I would like to do it this way because I learned that,
Yeah, exactly. But also the other way around, right? I like hanging out with you. And I also notice sometimes when I tell things, you look at me like, oh, I did it this way. And like, oh, did you? It's so nice to have like these intergenerational friendships. And they bring beautiful moments like this.
Yeah, we learn so much also in the community from women from different ages. It's insane. There's so much knowledge that we women have that if we just have conversations, moments of to speak to each other, we can share so much, right? When I was your age, I was just starting my sexual journey.
Yeah.
All the adventures. I was just going ham in Brazil. And it was so nice because I just got out of a relationship and I thought, I'm just going to explore myself and my sexuality in a way that it's for me and not for someone else. And I did that all the way until 3 years ago almost. I mean, I dated here and there and I had some relationships, but very short ones because I never felt free in a relationship. I felt more free when I was single. So at one point I was thinking, why would I want a relationship if I feel less free?
Yeah.
And then I thought, hey, but what if the relationship I want or I'm attracting is not the relationship that I should have? So what do I actually want? Yeah. So what if I actually focus on what I want, my free relationship, like my freedom to be in a relationship? So what does that entail? What do I need for that? So I need my partner to be a feminist. I need my partner to support me in my dreams. I need to feel safe. I need to be able to talk to my partner all the time. All these things, I wrote these down. And then I thought, you know what? If there is a guy that has all of this, great. But in the meantime, I'm going to live my life.
That's a very good way of putting it. And that was actually what I was about to ask you, like, all right, so it all starts from dating.
Yeah.
So my question to you is that you go from dating to relationship and eventually some people come to the moment of engagement like it happened to you. So if I would ask you dating advice, what are some core elements or some core things you would always say if somebody asks you advice now with your experience already? So now I am 10 years younger, so I still have a good 10 years to go and I'm in no rush. But we do live very, or have lived very different lives, very different lifestyles. What is your relationship advice to me or your dating advice to me?
Okay, that's two things. So I'll answer the two things.
What is your dating advice?
Okay, so my dating advice is, first of all, before you start dating, spend time with yourself. If you cannot be with yourself and love yourself, the other person will never give you what you need, period. So spend at least a few months just completely by yourself, not finding your intimacy or your need or want for that in anybody else but yourself. So that's number one.
All right, I'm very, very far past number one already. Like, I'm so comfortable with being by myself and alone.
Okay,
oh
that's
God.
good. But a lot of people forget this step and they just go from dating to dating, from toxic relationship to another relationship. That's why I think that's like
filling the gap that they cannot fill themselves.
It sounds like a little bit like spiritual or whatever, but it just means that you are just with yourself for 3 months, whatever that means. If that's just staying at home and doing your own thing, your hobbies and living, make sure that in those 3 months or 3 months or 6 months or a year or whatever, that you focus on being the happiest just with yourself, right? And in your case, you are the happiest with yourself. The second step is, okay, if I want to have someone in my life that adds value, what is that value that they have to add? How can they make my life better? So what does that look like? So write that down. Because if you don't write it down and take time to be clear on what you want in a partner and in a relationship and who you want to be in a relationship, you're just going to attract whatever and whoever. And then a lot of the times, because you're like, oh, I'm dating again, oh, it's exciting and everything, you kind of lower your standards.
Absolutely.
What you write down will be your guide, your blueprint of this is the minimum what I need for a relationship. And if this person can offer it, maybe we can just be friends, or maybe we can just be a one-night stand, or friends with benefits, or just a professional relationship, whatever. So I started seeing people as adventures, right? But I had this list of, and it's not like a list even, I wrote down my affirmations on who I would like to attract, who I want to be. Because I wrote something down that I'm seeing like, oh shit, I really asked for it, but it's not easy. I wrote down, in my relationship, I want to grow as a person and as a woman. That also means that you will look at yourself in the mirror during a relationship too.
Also
but that's only
you need to step your game up.
Yes. A lot of people think, okay, I want a partner that has blue eyes, that has a good job, has this. And it's all good. You can write that down if you want. That's all fine. But who do you want to be in a relationship? Because I felt that I didn't have my freedom a lot. But it wasn't only the fault of the person that didn't give me the freedom. I also made myself smaller, or I didn't stand up for myself. I didn't put my boundaries down, accepted a lot. I just went with the flow. With my fiance, he actually wanted to date and become a couple after 1 week of knowing each other. Because we just knew. We said, I love you to each other already. It's really fast, but we just knew. But I said to him, no. For once in my life, I want to be the one to initiate this relationship so that I choose to be with you instead of get swept away because he's so romantic and it's so loving and the sex is amazing and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I want to choose like, hey,
to
all
be
of this
very
is
conscious about the decision that you're about
exactly,
to
and intentional. And then he said, okay, fine, but make sure you have your values down, written down, your non-negotiables and your needs and wants. And I already had this done in my affirmations, so that list was really easy for me. He had already down as well. So we started our relationship on such a good foundation. So on the day that I decided and asked him to be my boyfriend, we sat down and we compared the values, the non-negotiables, the needs and wants. And it was so nice because a lot of things were the same. And when things were different, we would talk about it and would be like, hey, can I give that to you or not?
Yeah.
And then instantly you have this peace. So when it comes to dating, first, take time for yourself to be happy with yourself. And secondly, write down, what does my ideal relationship look like? And who do I want to be? And what does my partner look like? Not only physically, but also how does that partner
What's
act?
his energy? How does he move? How does he talk? What's
how does
his tone of
how does
voice?
that person treat the world?
Exactly.
And move around in the world? And what are we gonna do together? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And it can be really big and you can dream big. You don't have to settle for what you see around you. And then thirdly, when you do go on dates, don't expect anything. So literally, I only went on dates when I was self-empowered and I felt really good. When I was needing intimacy and I felt alone, that's when I stayed home.
Exactly.
I stayed the fuck home. I didn't use any dating apps. I didn't call my friends. I just stayed home to be like, hey, why do I feel alone? Why do I need intimacy? How can I create that for myself? Because I don't believe in also like someone is your better half. I don't believe in that. You're whole. You should be whole and you should feel whole when you step into a relationship. Someone else should not be filling all of your holes. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So when you do start dating, ask yourself, am I dating right now because I feel super good in my skin and I'm horny and I feel like meeting new people and I feel like, taking a leap and opening my heart? Or am I super lonely and
in desperate need or whatsoever?
Yeah, do I need a quick fuck or whatever? Then you just go and get that. When you go and get that, it never satisfies. And this is what's happening a lot in the world.
Yeah.
So check in with yourself. Why am I going on a date? And then when you are on a date, just be interested in the person, be curious, and just see wherever it goes. So if this person doesn't interest me or doesn't give me the energy that I need, then that's your ticket to get out.
Absolutely. And it's very interesting, the advice that you give, but I got to be honest, it's not that usual to come with a whole list, what you just said, if you're dating, right? You two already knew when you first met each other and you were actually like, all right, within a week, this is going to happen. And then you were like, no, I want to initiate it. And then you were like, all right, come with the list. But
no, I'm talking about the list that you have for yourself.
Yeah.
No, not the list that my partner and I made. Literally, that list was more like, okay, we're going to compare our list. But I'm talking about being clear on what you want in a relationship, right?
Absolutely.
And then it's really important when you date, just continue having no expectations, because everybody comes in your life and brings you a lesson. And that's either one night or a few months or years. And so I would keep it very light for yourself and just focus on, is this date giving me pleasure? In what kind of way? And is this person giving me pleasure? If not, bye.
Well, that's good.
Did you ever have a date where you were like, oh my God, I'm not getting any pleasure mentally, physically, or soul-wise?
Yeah, absolutely.
What did you do to get out of that date?
God damn it. So I don't really date because I don't want to date without intention. That's more my style. I don't judge anyone else from it who does it, but I just don't want to date with intention because I think my time is very valuable and I have so much loving and amazing family and friends. I'd rather spend my time there unless the dating is intentional and it's worth the time to actually do something else instead of being with my friends, my family, or myself. Indeed. So is it valuable?
Yeah.
So I just moved to Lisbon and I was getting a bit more into the modeling world and doing modeling jobs. And I still don't know how this came together, but there was this one person that was like, hey, yeah, I know this guy. He's like a model here and he's from Italy and he's like very handsome and you two would like really hit it off. But I was so young. I think I was like 18 when I moved on myself to Lisbon. And then I had a date with this guy. Already I was like, I don't think I really want to go, but I went. And I kid you not, for an hour straight, he only talked about himself. And for an hour straight, he was so shallow with the things he was saying because he was talking so much about his modeling job and how handsome he was and how beautiful he was and that a lot of women wanted him. But I was very beautiful too. And then together we could be a very beautiful couple. And I remember sitting there with my espresso, like... And it just completely turned from a date into a psychological experiment. I completely stepped out of it and I couldn't stop just objectifying him as a person who was really, really so moved away from himself, right? Especially like, I could see what you were saying. This is a person, he doesn't like to spend time on his own. He needs so much validation from the outside world that he doesn't like being alone. Yeah. So I remember within an hour, I was like, okay, I was 3 espressos in. I was like, I'm good now. Yeah. At the ending, actually, he just stepped towards me and he wanted to kiss me. And I said, no, thank you. And he was like, so thrown off by the idea that I didn't want to kiss him. He literally asked me, why don't you want to kiss me? We had such an amazing time. And I said, well, it's very clear. And I tried to be as nice about it as I could. It's very clear that you had a very nice time. And I was just there. I have a feeling that you have no idea who you are, that you have no idea how to be alone with yourself. And there is no way that if you don't know it, how am I supposed to know who you really are? I still don't know who you really are. So no, thank you. Yeah. He was so angry with me. He was so angry.
You held that mirror in his face.
Oh, he was so angry with me. And then I went off. And then I think that kind of set the bar for me already. Like, all right, if it's not intentional, if I can't feel the energy up front, then I don't want to do it because it's just not worth my time. I was literally like sitting there watching almost a documentary for an hour. I'm raised too nice to say, hey, I'm going to the toilet and not come back. Like, I could never do something like that.
No, it's like you feel so shitty. Or just be like, okay, I'm really tired. I'm going to go home. We've all heard this because it's in the movies, you know. It's
I know. I have headache. My friend is in an emergency. Yeah, I gotta help her now.
Have you ever used the emergency friend line so that you were like, okay, if I don't like it and you call at 9 o'clock and I say this and this, then you should say there's an emergency. Have you ever used that?
Yeah. I'm not proud, but I did it when I was also 18. Yeah, I think 18 for me was very experiencing these type of things as social gatherings and dating. Oh, this was horrible. I'm not proud of this. But my friend actually texted me, oh my God, Bowie, it's such a coincidence that you text me because actually some shit is going down and I do need your help. I was like, oh, thank God. So I screenshotted that, showed it to the person, and then I went off. And I went straight to her to help her out. And she opens the door in her bathrobe and a towel in her hair, looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I was like, you had an emergency. And she's like, Bowie, what the fuck? You wanted me to put this emergency. And I remember I felt so stupid. I was just looking at her like, God damn, I'm so stupid. I think that was my karma. I think that was my biggest lesson in life. And that was my ultimate karma. Because she just stood there laughing at me, calling people like, listen to what this bitch just did. And I was like, oh. And I think that was my biggest karma, that I was like, yeah, this is my lesson. I just had to be honest instead of like trying to snuck my way out of it.
So far, you've been very honest. That's really nice.
I date with intention. I don't date to fuck around or anything. That's not my style.
I did.
But that could be fun, right?
Oh, it was so fun. Like, I absolutely am so grateful to myself that I took the years to just have sexual adventures. Yeah. Because that really shaped who I am as a woman right now.
Yeah, I think maybe I will get to that phase.
Who knows?
Because I've always been like in relationships or very long dating, which I really, really like, because I get more and more aroused the more that I get to know a person, and the more if I can fall in love with you or really feel much love for you, and you starting to get to know each other's bodies, like that's the moment that I get really aroused.
Yeah.
Because I feel very safe and comfortable as well. But maybe there will be this time phrase in my life that I can experience what you have experienced, and I will call you every day and tell you about it.
I absolutely love hearing all of the stories from all my friends and all the women around me. Oh, it's so fun. Like,
Yeah.
because the thing is, I started doing this myself, just telling with my friends and just women that I knew about my sexual adventures. And what happened is that they said, oh my God, I never thought this was possible. Oh, you said that to him? Because I was very much like, if I'm going to date and, have sexual adventures, I'm doing that for me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have a sexual adventure with someone and then be completely forgotten.
No.
So that's, in the beginning it happened, and I thought to myself, hey, no, this is not happening. So I started speaking up in a way that's kind, of course. The sexual partners were like, oh, you're so right. I never thought of it. Or sometimes they would be rude and assholes,
Yeah.
And then I would just read another lesson. And at one point I did have to make sure that they know about treating me before we even try anything. I asked them, do you eat pussy?
Yeah.
Literally on the date.
Yeah. I would say that, well, if I were dating with someone and when you come to the sexual conversation, it's like, do you go down? Do you eat pussy? No.
Bye. Yeah. Because for us women, it's also like sex, right? It's not just penetration. Like, penetration is also part of sex, but being eaten out or fingering, like, our clitoris is so important. And
sex, literally, to me, is something holistic. From kissing to
Exactly.
intimacy to like touching everywhere.
It shouldn't be forgotten
licking.
at all, or just be like, oh, let's go straight to penetration. No, that's like,
I think every woman or every girl has to go through the phase of, how can I make this about me phase?
yeah,
We have to go through that.
it's not like something bad. I felt bad about it, like, oh, it's all about me. But at the same time, it aroused a lot of my partners, because I was just like, hello, what about me? And I would love this. And being very clear about what you like and don't like, they found it really nice. And for me, it was like, oh, I just want to communicate this. But at the same time, I also was thinking, okay, but I want to leave here tonight, or leave all of the dates with the feeling I had fun.
Exactly. Yeah. And how would you initiate conversation like that? If you could give an example, because I've been there too. And honestly, like, I think most people react good to it. But you do hear some stories going around from people that they're like, yeah, well, I ask like, hey, what about me? And then it would be like, why? Aren't you done yet? Or like, yeah, give me 5 minutes. But the 5 minutes become like never.
Yeah, because in the beginning, I would try to initiate it during sex when I felt like, hey, I think he forgot about me. But also, I would not allow penetration right away.
Yeah.
And if he did want that, I would say, hey, listen, no. You
Yeah,
need to warm the oven up, I would say. Hello, I need to be aroused as well. But there were times where I allowed penetration, for instance, and then I was forgotten afterwards. And then because I had to ask for it, I felt so turned off. I just thought, I just leave it, and I just wanted not to be with this person anymore. To avoid that, I started talking about in checking if they do think about my pleasure before we even started getting physical.
Yeah.
So literally while we're at the dinner table.
And how would you do that? How would a conversation like that go?
I would just drop that bomb.
Yeah?
But yeah, for real. For instance, let's say that we're talking about how long have you been single? I would say, okay, yeah, I've been single this way. And then you just talk about a little bit about your relationship. And I'm like, yeah, and so what is sex to you? I would just talk about sex. And then I would just be like, do you eat pussy? Or I would just say, you know what do you think about eating pussy?
Yeah.
I would just say that. Like, I would be curious in my way, not be like, do you eat pussy? If not, bye. It would not be like attacking. It would be more like, what is your thoughts, and do you enjoy
it on a nice little plate, on a nice silver plate? Here you go.
I would often ask. I wouldn't say anything. I would ask, do you enjoy eating pussy? What is it like to you? Can you describe it? Like, what do you like about it? And then we had a whole conversation, and then you could see them like, ooh, this is such a fun conversation. And then, well, if it then doesn't happen, he's just a selfish asshole. You know what I mean? So
I had this really nice conversation one time as well while I was dating, and I asked the question, what is your sexual script? And that was such an interesting opener.
A cool question.
Yeah, that was such an interesting opener for a very honest conversation, because of course it's like, what do you mean by the script? And then I explained that with the education that we give here and the conversation we have with women is that we always come to the same point of that actually usually sex is a script. It's like kissing, getting the clothes off, warming up a bit, and sometimes it doesn't even happen. Penetration, done. Like, that's your script.
Yeah.
If you have a conversation about it, like, but what is your script and how do you look at your script?
Yeah.
Is your script like this? Because that's not my script. And that was such an interesting conversation to have.
I love that question. You can even first start with like, what's your dating script, or like, what's your relationship script? And then you can go into, what about your sexual script now?
Yeah, it was really, really nice.
And where does eating pussy fit in? You know,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's really fun to flip around that script. So not always, because also for the men, it's a lot of pressure to always stay hard. Of course, you need to arouse a woman enough for the clitoris to be erect enough to also allow penetration, because that protects your body
from inside.
Exactly. So it's really important. But at the same time, you don't have to come as a woman first before then penetration comes. And then also when men are done, it doesn't mean sex is over.
Yeah, exactly.
You can go back and forth. And
I actually had this conversation with a friend of mine that she was like, yeah, well, sometimes when he comes, then we're done. And I was like, but why is it over then?
yeah.
Why is the script builded like that? Why is the script like, oh, now he has his orgasm, we're done here?
And they
that
say
doesn't
because,
have to be.
you know, men like, they have such a release that they're so tired. But sometimes I'm tired too after I come. So I rather have that I come last, you know?
It's very important to get the knowledge inside of the minds of every people to know that the script is there to be written by yourself and together.
Yeah.
The script is not that is put on by society or the porn that you watch where the woman just get like licked off and then just put it in and then, oh, he's coming and then the movie is over. No, that's not. We have to rewrite the script together for ourselves, for our pleasure, and for the pleasure that you have together. And that's, I think, it's very important to understand that the script literally is there to write together. And there's no good or wrong. There's only exploring and rewriting and on to the next chapter.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
The script also doesn't have to be the same every time. It can change every time you have sex, you know? Because
like,
it's so much more fun.
It's the same with TV shows. It's always kind of the same, but there's always new things added to it, which makes you want to watch it over and over.
Yeah, I love binge watching.
Oh.
Sex in the City all the way.
Oh, we're still talking about TV shows. Okay.
Yeah. and also for me, I did learn about a lot of things around sex in Sex in the City, actually.
I learned that Carrie Bradshaw is a very bad friend and Samantha goes for the win. I think Samantha should be president.
I love Samantha. I've always identified more with Samantha than with Carrie Bradshaw.
She is a good friend. She always picks up the phone. She is always there. And if she needs to be there for a friend,
she's always there.
She would fuck the guy and then go to the friend, but not leave the friend alone.
But she's also in the series. She
would make it a quickie. That's a good. Take it one for the team, right?
Yeah, and in the series, she's also actually cancelled on men for her friends.
But Carrie just keeps on fucking over the wrong. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of Samantha.
Yeah, Samantha for the win.
Absolutely. And talking about pleasurable date nights, Jo, Sarah, I actually had an amazing date night thanks to the O Collective girls.
Really?
Absolutely. And I want to give you a little present as well.
Oh.
The date night Bonbons.
Can I see?
Absolutely. These are yours because since you are now a fiancé, an engaged woman, maybe an extra little spicy date night could have been.
We love date nights.
Couldn't be wrong.
So it's about connecting and partner play and has maca and ashwagandha, Korean ginseng, passion fruit caramel bonbons. Wow.
Yes.
They look amazing. Look at this. That's so cool. I'm definitely going to try this with JB.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun.
You have to try this with your fiancé.
Did you try it?
Yeah. I tried the date night bonbons with a person that I was dating for with a while. And to be very honest is that you're very conscious about it, right? So you get these and then you're introduced them. And then we were like, all right, we had one. And then we were like, should we have two? They're actually really nice. All right. So we had two. We were also dating and I'm very skeptical. I'm a skeptical person. And it's not like that I gotten so horny. I was like, oh my God, get these clothes off me now and take me off the ceiling, you know? Like, it's not like that. But to be very honest, we had an amazing night together. I don't know what it is. Maybe it can be a psychological thing. I do highly believe that we had a very, very intimate night. It was a lovely, intimate night. And I think, to be honest, more afterwards, we realized, like, was it just us or was it like the extra kick? You know what
The
I mean?
bonbons.
Yeah, was it like the extra kick that these bonbons give? So we had an amazing intimate night. We were just laying next to each other after we were done, like, wow.
On the first date night, hey, listen, I have date night bonbons. Want to try it out?
Now, all the girlies in here are actually gonna try it with us.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers, ladies. Go, yeah.
Mmm.
But it's a very interesting taste, right?
Yeah.
It must be so hard to actually make maca, ashwagandha, and ginseng taste nice. Like,
It's actually bitter and fruity and also like caramelly. And
yeah.
I'm not a fan of fruit and chocolate, but this is yummy.
So after this, we're all going out for dinner. And I hope... Just imagine all four of us like, in the restaurant.
That's a good pre-dinner dessert. So if you want to get your own bonbons, we'll definitely link it in the episode description because everybody deserves some,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
I love this episode again.
Oh my God, I loved it so much.
We went from engagement all the way to
fucking.
yeah, to like how, how to introduce the topic of eating pussy and stuff in the script. So yeah, let us know like how you would introduce or how you make sure that you have pleasure, or let us know what you do, what your dating tips are. I'm also really curious if that you have any scripts that you want to share.
If you are listening and watching and there are maybe topics that you don't really understand, or maybe you are in an issue right now that you need advice for, please let us know and just send your questions to us and we will answer all your questions very anonymously, of course. And hopefully we can help you with everything that needs to be helped with.
Yeah, and we have a bunch of experts as well that can help you out and a lot of education within our community. So definitely join our community because that's what we're here for the conversations, for the education, and the connection.
We hope you really enjoyed it. And don't forget, you are very allowed to rewrite your scripts.
Yes. In your love life, in your sex life, in your whatever life. And if you like this episode, please share it with your friends, with your partners, your sexual partner, dates or whatever. Spread the word and education, and together we can really change it all.
Absolutely. So till the next one, Umas.